we have gone the distance. G2 versus Ghost Gaming culminates on Trade. We've already seen Inferno, that went the way of Ghost. Dust 2 much more dominantly just then going the way of the French squad in front of the home crowd as well, just to boot. And now Trade, the big decider, map number 3. And at this point, it feels like it's anyone's game, Hugo.
Train is anyone's game indeed, Harry. I really don't know where this is going to go. I'm going to just commit to my prediction of Ghost at the beginning of the series. But it's like, which G2 do we get? Do we get the G2 that runs out of ideas and repeats strategies that aren't working like we had back on Inferno? Or do we just have the, no respect, out-read, outplayed, out-aimed G2 that we got back on Dust? Who knows? It's up in the air, Harry. They're certainly favored via the odds, but Ghosts have brought us the distance and they've earned a spot here in the best of 3. Can they take it over the finish line? I don't know. We'll have to find out. Yeah, we're not going to have to wait much longer. But Hugo, I have to ask you, who would be your players now that we've seen them duke it out on both maps? Yeah. Who are you pegging as the big stars to step up here? I've got to jump on the AWP train firstly, with Kenny looking very, very fresh back on Dust 2. He struggled a little bit over on Inferno, but this was definitely a resurgence of him. Also, I think Neptune has been just unreal this entire tournament. He's been very, very good for Ghost and a very, very young player as well. So that's always great to see. I think Neptune's going to be someone to look out for on this map. Well, let's see as Train, map number 3 in this elimination best of 3. Winner stays in, loser is gone. And it's underway. G2 over on the CT side. The fan favorite, Ghost Gaming. They've got some utility, and already they've got Neptune down here through Olaf. 4 players grouped up, but they're not going to check Kenny now. They do, and he's gone. Amanek finds a double. Oh, he's looking for more. Backing away, has to get the reload off, and they decide they don't want to keep taking this fight. That's largely because Neptune, he's cleared most of this A bomb site. Shox gets caught crossing, not quite found. And missed shot from Amanek, James IRL and Steel in a 2-on-2, both incredibly low on HP. Shox and Lucky left to try and overthrow. They have at least got this bomb into CT. Steel just bailed James out so hard on that peek around the corner for Amanek. Luckily enough, Ghost will be inside of B, but so is Lucky. He's flanked Pop. Bomb on the other side. Lucky going to get close. He might have this free kill to steal. They certainly won't expect him to be this deep. And James will not be watching the spawns. Shox is there already. And there he goes. 2 kills from Shox. And the round will be won by G2. I like that play from Shox as well. He hears them rotating through CT. And he doesn't try and just take those straight up fights. He lets them get into B, knowing they won't expect a CT wrap that fast. So good effort from Shox and the gang. And him and Amanek, 2 kills a player. They're going to be able to shut down that pistol round. I don't know how Amanek got 2 there. Yeah. I honestly don't, but he did, and it made it doable. First round going the way of G2. We've seen them, start off slow in the pistols, but they've been building up and getting more consistent at them throughout this series. They find the first one here on Train and look to get off to a good start. Now a Hero AK thrown over by James to Kuster. That's all they've really got to work with in this round. James has already been spotted and denied that presence over towards B. And on the back of spotting that Ghost, they know they're kind of forced just to go for this A commitment now. Lucky being in this position up in the halls, he can just get all the info on B, and he sees that it's clear. 4 players now rotated into this A bomb site for G2. This means for Ghost, they're walking into an even fight, a 4-on-4, but Steel shutting down the first man, looking for a bit more. Amanek's got as well. Weapon retrieved and now in the hands of Wardell, but a 2-on-3. Once again, they've got control down here towards Ivy and Old Bomb. Are they going to try and go for this B-side plant once again? It does look like it. Well, try is the key word, because Lucky is already on the site, and that really limits Ghost. Yeah, off angle of the year, I think. 38 seconds. Shock's still hanging around on A just in case. And Jax has gone for the full flank up through Ivy. This is going to be very, very key in the post plant. If this bomb does go down, Jax's position will be the most valuable of all. The last place Ghost will expect. Actually, he's going to be the only player on A right now because Shox just rotated up through the halls just to check the top of B. It's empty, so now they're going to double rotate back towards A. Lucky doesn't have to worry about his flank anymore. He can just focus on the connector. That's where Wardell is. This bomb on the A site and just about to go down. Shox will be in position, but will he be able to stop it? No, he spots the player. That's only the info. Jax finally comes out from the Ivy with a surprise kill. And Wardell, he's going to hear this rotate. He's going to have at least a free one-on-one, but no armor and no chance. Lucky sprays him down, and G2 pick up the round.
Yeah, but another bomb plant for Ghost. They can actually afford to buy up here into this round if they would like. Alternatively, you could just look to go for a bit of a partial investment, go for the more standard buy up in round number 4 in response to forcing in the second. I'm curious as to how they decide to balance it. And it will be the immediate buy now. They have the AWP on Wardell. James is the only man who's a little limited. Wardell doesn't have armor behind him, but there's no AWP over on Kenny. And the worst thing here for Ghost would be if they don't find much impact in this round and you give an AWP over to G2 for free, they would take that all day long. That's getting a bit ahead of ourselves as Kenny's already been dropped up on top of the trains. Amanek tries to answer back, and he will at least dispatch of Neptune. Jax is in the heavens, and between them, they've got a bit of a deadly crossfire set up. It does leave Olaf open, and there are players aggressing down through this portion of the map. Kusta, good for another, and this now leaves them in a 3-on-3 post plant. Very little time to get too comfortable in these post plant positions, but Amanek getting tagged up by the AWP Wardell does create a bit of a problem for G2 here. They don't have a lot of space to work with.
Yeah, Shox is on the site though. I wonder if Ghost realized how close he's gotten himself. That flashbang not working out. Amanek will peek off the back of it, and Kusta does get the trade to Lucky, but he's now the only one left alive. 1-on-2. Low HP on Amanek. He goes for the spot. He gets the info. They haven't tapped the bomb just yet, but now they have. Now that's going to force a peek. He's going for the first. He gets a bit of damage. He knows they're not on the defuse. Now the stick. They're fully committing to it, and he's just got to get them off the bomb, but he goes down to Amanek. G2 pick up the retake. Nice try from Kusta. It gets down to the wire, but he's unable to convert either of those 2 kills. If only he got enough shots off on that first peek to get an initial kill, that's his round. But 3-0 for G2, and more buying for Ghost, because bomb plant, of course. I imagine they go B with this.
Actually, it might just be the fast A commitment here. Steel breaking the windows. Has to be careful because going aggressive, Shox is pushed all the way up. And now this push coming in towards A, he's going to be very fast on the rotation. Amanek and Jax doing the majority of the legwork here inside of the bomb site. Kenny, still an unknown factor, going to make his presence known. And everyone's getting torn apart for Ghost. In a matter of seconds, that full buy is torn apart by the incumbent French forces. They only lose 1 man in the process. Money's building up here for G2, and it's starting to dwindle over in the Ghost side of things. You know, at least in previous rounds when we've been looking at Ghost going for these buys, going for these plays, at least they've been able to justify it with, okay, well, we got the bomb down. We got into like a post plant. There was a doable situation there that maybe eluded us just down to us not hitting our shot. But that round there, the first where they don't get the bomb planted, they just get ruined.
Oh, it's a messy one. Amanek with 2 kills off that Orc spray. And the pistol out to finish off the third. That eco is just swept under the rug by G2. Blink and you miss it. Amanek up 10-2 right now. And 5-0 RG2. This is a fantastic beginning to the third map of this series. And Ghost, they're out of luck, they're out of money. Finally going to be able to buy up here. AWP now armored for Wardell as well, but he's facing up against Kenny S. Will again go back down towards the Ivy side of things. Wardell scoped in. Kenny just fighting down that lane. Lucky gets aggressive, but Steel's ready and waiting on the other side. So Ghost, man advantage their way. Let's see what they want to do with it. Oh my god. They are just bullying Jax.
He didn't even see anyone. He just gets wallbang, naded, you name it. They threw it at him. Amanek holding close. Splash goes over the top. Kenny's going to bail him out, at least initially. Steel's there to pick it up, and now Kenny inside of this A bomb site alone, trying to deny the bomb plant, but Wardell, with that AWP in hand, finally able to best the menace that has been Kenny S. And this leaves Shox high and dry, alone over here. Was inside of that B bomb site just a moment ago, trying to hold on to this M4, and James is going to go hunting for him.
Just watching the retreat of Main at least. And if Shox moves a little bit too far, could get messy. He's just going to hold, though. Look for exits. Ghost are exiting this way, so Steel, who's on 22 points of health, unless he stays in main, this is going to be something for Shox. Oh, there's the info. Sprays away, line up, but only one. Trade is there for James, and actually one player goes down to the bomb as well, so all in all.
It was Wardell who went down to the bomb, and I'm not sure if they would have got the AWP. That's going to be something that we're going to have to see as we cut back in game. Because that's actually a massive success there on behalf of G2. And yeah, they weren't able to grab the AWP. So Steel actually able to take down 2 players at the end. One of those being the AWP, or Shox rather, able to take down 2 players at the end.
Yeah, he did enough damage with that spray. They lined up for him after all. That is an awkward situation for Ghost. It's not anyone's fault as well. It's just something that happens, you know? So fully armed up with the rifles at least, but looking towards B for the first time in this half, at least traditionally. They've taken B through CT spawn before, but not from the box halls. Shox scoped up, missed shot, the flash is through, but he's not blind. His teammate is, sorry, his enemy is. Lucky certainly isn't. 2 kills on that ramp, and he even finishes off the low HP Steel. Bomb, well, not going down anytime soon with these CTs so close by. It gets thrown over. James can try and get the plant. They need it desperately for the money. Wardell just using all of his utility, trying to get any slight advantage from it. And James is going to get blindsided. Wardell doubles, but I think his time is limited.
Oh, most certainly is. They have him trapped. They have him cornered, but that's where the beast is most deadly. Wardell out in the open, finally laid to rest. Amanek able to pick it up, and G2 6-1. That was still a 5v1 retake, so Wardell does a very sound job of getting it so close. But ultimately, it's not meant to be. A G2, I mean, it might have been a slow start from them. The first 2 maps we saw them play at this event weren't exactly, you know, the classic G2 we're used to seeing.
French fans are out in full force on this weekend as well, and they may have a bit of a gift here in the form of G2, 6-1 up. This is looking fantastic for the Frenchmen. Wardell straight out of main off of the spawn, but Amanek was already scoped in, and the Org will beat the Org. Kenny trying to do the same story, but he'll go down as well. Neptune winning that battle, but there's still a second man up on Ivy to try and contain this position. Steel scoped up with the Org dropped by Wardell, pushed forward by the Molotov. Ghost are looking to split this A side very fast. I love the pace that they're setting. No fear, and Steel taking down 1. Amanek put to 1 HP, and Steel looking to finish him off. He's found a second on the Glock, but Amanek staying alive, keeping this round intact here for G2.
Big moment from Steel there. I mean, he's almost single-handedly secured this round for Ghost. Lucky and Amanek remain, but with 101 HP between them, it's not looking good. Amanek is a long way from this A bomb site. Ghost Gaming will be in with their second round. Big stuff from Steel to, you know, almost get 3. Tags Amanek for 99. And this is where, you know, for G2, the money does start to become a problem. Amanek has to hold on to this Org. Should be able to get away with it, even though Neptune is nearby. You don't imagine he wants to go hunting with this AWP, just in case he hands that over for free. Oh, no. I was wondering if it was a bit too close still. And Amanek falling to the bomb, that actually does throw some problems the way of G2 now.
Oh, and yeah, look at this from Steel. The Glock headshot, always by head armor, folks. He certainly would have gone down if there was head armor on that player. Either way, 6-2 up. Ghost starting to make things interesting. They've broken the money of G2, at least temporarily here, and they're just going to go aggressive. PT-50 and 4 USPs rushing the top side. The Molotov is too late. They're already past the Steel. He's going to get overwhelmed, and he's going to respond. 3 kills. It's actually Neptune to get the job done. It's Steel to fall immediately, and Kenny S trades right back. He's got the bomb, and they've scavenged rifles. This is not the round that should have happened with G2 spending only $300.
Oh, most definitely not. And now with these AKs, they're able to work their way into these close positions. It's James, IRL, and Kusta remaining. James just holding, waiting for this aggression. You really are relying on this wraparound from Kusta to bring some massive results if you're Ghost. Now on the upside, they've got 1 minute and 5 seconds to play around with. James starting to aggress, and he is going to shut down Amanek. Now running back for the hills. Doesn't want to give Kenny the opportunity to trade. He's still waiting for Kusta on this wraparound, and Kenny He spots James, lands the 180, now down to the 1v1, and Kenny with 3 kills to his name. 1 man left to overthrow. And he's just going to tuck tail, move away, gives the bomb up. We'll let Kusta have it, knowing that he's really going to be taking his time and wasting a lot of this utility just to try and retrieve the bomb. Kenny's gone for the big brain rotation. Kusta's going to look to hit B, and Kenny, well, he's not in position for that whatsoever. So Kusta is going to have time here to get into a post plant.
Yeah, Kenny making the wrong gamble there. Not the most traditional plant for Kusta, though, and now he's going towards heaven. If he went for a default plant and he throws a molly on it, he wins the round. Now he can't do that without peeking. He can still get it out, but you'd have to peek a little bit wider than maybe he would hope. Either way, Kenny, where does he even go here? There's so many positions to clear, so many trains to hide behind. Yeah,
at this point, I mean, the round's just done from now on in because Kusta's got that Molotov. So unless Kenny's able to, you know, just like one-tap him in some incredible feat before he somehow throws that in, it's all said and done. And Kenny knows that as well. He's backed off. He's holding on to the AK. Regardless, a 3rd round for Ghost, but a monstrous one from G2. They do not let the NA squad get comfy by any stretch of the imagination. They are keeping them on the ropes.
And even considering, you know, Neptune sprays down 3 players at the start of that round there when they start rushing towards him after Steel gets dropped. He gets so much work done, and still that round comes down to the 1v1. Really great effort from Kenny, yes, but not going to be enough. 6-3 here. Double AWP on the T side as well for Ghost, interestingly enough. Not sure about that, but we'll see what the game plan is. Oh, it works out. Steel, he's feeling it, and he's fast into B. He's already taken the entry. Shox is dead, but look at Lucky. He's up in the heavens. Neptune's going to check it from down bottom of the ramp, and Steel's still scoped up on the connector for that rotate. Won't be able to see them. It's clear they're already in the site. The Molotovs are flying through, and one player getting aggressive. Neptune's ready for him. 2nd kill. And still getting aggressive off the back of that. 4 HP, and he's just going through the smoke. Doesn't give a damn. Will eventually fall. And Kenny has just found 2 with the orb. That bomb has been dropped, and this round has been thrown into turmoil.
And once again, it's Kusta and James to try and get the job done. Now, they were able to get this figured out and dealt with the last time they were in this situation. But this time it's a whole different kettle of fish, right? That bomb is under G2 control. This time they've got armor, they've got the AWP on Kenny. Once again, we're in a situation where James is just waiting by this bomb, trying to stave off any initial peaks and waiting for Kusta to arrive on this wrap round. But this time, Jax bests him. And now Kusta 1v2 on this rotation. He's going to get spotted, and Kenny there to delete him. 3 for Kenny, 2 for Jax, and a 7th round for G2 Esports.
Every round that you think G2 are out of it, suddenly they do something incredible. Or more so, Kenny does something incredible.
Yeah, right, a big double from him, but that's also where, you know, Neptune may be getting a bit overzealous there, creeping through the smoke, giving up a couple of kills that they didn't really need to, taking those fights before the bomb goes down.
He was getting flash from his teammate, that's the thing. He got flash through the smoke, but I don't know where the flash went, because the player on the other side wasn't blinded in the slightest. I think it's more of a, like, you know, when you're in a 4-on-2, you've got B, the bomb's coming down ramp. From your perspective as a terrorist there, you're thinking, this round is done, we've won it. But then, you know, it starts falling apart, and you realize that, okay, maybe that wasn't the best play, but in the 4-on-2, not necessarily his bad.
Hindsight is 20/20, as they say. You know, looking back, yeah, it's going to be very easy to say that.
Yeah.
But in the moment, not to mention, as you say, there was a flash lined up. The play was calculated, right? It was meant to come through. It's just that flash never arrived. So bit of a blunder, and one small mistake is sometimes all it takes to topple around exactly like that.
I do agree, though. With 4 HP, there's just no need to push that. I think the alternative is, you know, if he stays oil, they know he's oil, and he's 4 HP. He's gonna die there. It's just him, his presence, his number on the you know, scoreboard, him just being alive is enough to keep G2 away somewhat. And that kill just spurs them on. Into the bomb site they go. 7-3. And Ghost scrambling for this buy. 3 pistols, 2 rifles, and a B play once again. The smoke is out upper. Shox playing close on the coils here. He's got Lucky side by side. These flashes going right past, as are the terrorists. They don't check it. Yes, they do. James drops on his head and takes him down. Lucky falls as well. And anything G2 can do, Ghost can do too. The eco working wonderfully. 3 players left up for the French side, but a missed shot from Kenny S might spell disaster. There's the leg, but he won't have this shot. Things are getting awkward here for G2. And Ghost have caught the kill on the flank as well. Surely they can't give this one away.
Yeah, there's no overzealous peaks here. They're all staying in their lane. Although actually, just as I say that, here they go. Aggressing. Kenny's trying to get out of there. This time, it's very justifiable. They know that they can just pressure these CTs out of the bomb site. Kenny wants to hold on to the AWP. With so many players looking for him, I don't know if he's going to get away with it here. Ooh. Kenny completely surrounded, and yeah, there is just absolutely no way in hell that he stays alive in that situation. Ghost Gaming in with a 4th round. I tell you what, 4-7 scoreline over on your T side, not too shabby right now, especially when you consider this was 5-1 at one point in time in favor of G2. It was looking like it could have been very, very one-sided. So Ghost have done a great job of grinding their way back into this one slowly but surely. Especially when you're up against the best team in France and you have your coach playing. You know, it's just not bad at all. Ghost are making this interesting. G2 on eco now as well. Now they have almost won this round before, but this time not going for the grouped up aggression in the B halls. Flash in. I like that one. Still gets himself inside of the pop dog, and Ghost peer into the A site. Kenny, yes, blinded off that one just a little bit, but enough to allow him to cross and get the info. They know he's E-boxing, he's stuck out here to drive the Molotov. He gets the kill. I have no idea how. It's actually Jax to take it, that's why. Steel gets the kill to Kenny, and he's not done just yet. Knows there's a player on the site, but a double flank from Pop is where G2 make it interesting. 3-on-3. Jax has found another. This round is falling apart. Chucks to drop the bomb, and now it's Wardell, the last hope for Ghost Gaming in this round. This was theirs to take. And Wardell desperately looking for anything, hoping that somewhere on the map G2 make a mistake, someone gets caught out, but they are not giving anything up here on the French side. Once again, they've got this bomb. It's under their control, and Wardell on a lengthy wraparound in through B. Now, with how long this has taken, G2 will have to consider this as an opportunity, but Lucky's gone. There are more players inside of this bomb site. The problem right now, Shock's still a little ways away, starting his rotation into main, getting posted up in time, but it's Jax to cement this round. 3 kills, the hat trick. And G2, 8-4, they pull around from a hat, seemingly from nowhere. It's the hesitance. I'd love to know what caused it from Ghost. They get 2 entries inside of the A site, and then they just wait. They just wait inside of the pop dog. Maybe Steel was waiting for his teammates to get the bomb down for him, but not watching the flank there and getting caught by G2. That is 2 eco wins now for this team. And these are hard ecos. One was flat USPs. That was just Eagles, no armor. Yeah, I think just a lot of it coming on the back of, that Ivy push being a little bit slower than the rest of the squad, like a bit disjointed, It meant that kind of Steel has to hang around, wait in the pop dog. He's waiting for the guys in Ivy to set up. And then you see the second Steel dies, there's that moment of panic where they just decide, okay, we have to go Ivy now, we have to push. And that's where we see Jax find another with the Deagle into Ivy. And for Wardell, the whole round's just thrown into disarray the second he's in a 1v3. What can you expect from him there? Dear, oh dear. That is a very awkward round to lose for Ghost. This could have been a very close half. And now it is looking anything but. 8-4. And Ghost again forcing up. They've got 3 AKs at the very least. That nade could be good. And it is. Neptune's 50. And Jax is going to finish off the job. 1 for him. Shox and Amanek join the scoreboard as well. And this is a slaughter up on the A site. Wardell last alive once again. He gets a kill. But it's just a formality at this point. G2 edging their way to 9 rounds on this CT side. And do remember, Harry, winner of this game goes forward to face French Frogs, the team that beat G2 just yesterday in the opening game of the group. So maybe some revenge on the horizon. Yeah, I mean, G2 would love the chance for that. And I mean, if they can keep this up, they're looking like they should get it. I mean, in this round, Wardell was just a scout and armor. That's not even really something you want to save. will be creeping forward, looking for something. But I mean, there's just so many players here. I mean, even if he's able to deal with Jax, in an ideal world, if he finds his first kill, which is going to be hard enough, there's another player nearby to trade, and there's a wraparound coming in from behind. So yeah, that round was definitely one that was written off. And a 9th for G2, back on this dominant streak. We might have seen Ghost chain together a couple just a few rounds ago, but it feels like it's been a while since then. I mean, we're really kind of seeing the culmination of the players who stepped up on each different map. You know, we had like a great performance from Amanek initially back on Inferno. Then obviously you had Kenny S showing up over on Dust. Here on Train, we've got both of them topping the charts for G2. That's exactly what we want to see. And Kenny, speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Lucky holding down ramp, and Ghost Gaming, they've been torn a new one. Lucky, 4 kills, and G2 onto a 10th round. The eco gets laid to bed. And G2 once again reaching double digits. Every game today, they've managed at least a 10-round first half. Obviously 10-5 back on Inferno.
Same on Dust.
Yeah, 10-5 back on Dust. And potentially another 10-5 here or 11-4. So looking to try and one-up their previous matches. Kenny with the Orc just barreling over towards main. He wants to take this early peak.
He wants to take this round by storm, Harry. That's all G2 have been doing this half. Shock's getting mollied off on top B. And Kenny, does he check the corner? That's the question. James will take down Jax in the meantime. Kenny knows he's close, but James doesn't need to move out through main. He's got the advantage. It's lost. Shox takes down Steel inside of the B halls, and we're back into a 4-on-4. James abusing that smoke that he's just placed to crawl out towards the ladder. Gets himself towards the top of blue. Amanek just below. Neptune tagged by the nade as well. Now the drop-off coming through. James falling to his death. Amanek closing the gap as well, and he can just flash his way through the smoke. Get behind these players who are out through the pop dog. Neptune's dead as well. 2 players left up for Ghost. The flank on Ivy is here, but is it going to be enough to save the day? Maybe. Kusna gets one to trade in, and now Wardell. It's always Wardell in these clutches. Can he at least pull one through for Ghost?
It's a tall order indeed. He decides to back away from this A side of things. Wants to try and find some success into the B bomb site. Will he be ready for Shox, however? Who's going to hear these footsteps? Wardell. Oh, he's got to check it. Missed shot. Might be able to get Shox, and indeed he does. Now down to the 1v1, and Wardell's got his weapon of choice retrieved from the body of Shox. The AWP now in a very deadly man's hands. It's Lucky on the other side. The flash is good, but shot missed. Time ticking away from Lucky here. He's got to pick up the pace, and Wardell, another missed shot, whittled away. Both players low, both players missing. And Lucky, he's got to get into this bomb site. Wardell is just toying with him. He's playing with his food. Lucky trying to pick up the pace. And Wardell, so patient here. He's wasted so much time, but Lucky's going to get him. Gets on the defuse. I think there's just enough time left for it. An 11th round for G2 at the very end. Did he just miss it at the end? Oh my, well, a 10-5 half. G2 don't manage to get it. No time for the defuse. Ghost Gaming on the back of Wardell. They've salvaged the same score that they've had in every map thus far. Will this end up like an Inferno, or will this go the way of Dust with G2 taking it? Find out after a break.
But I only hate you 'cause I love you so damn much, and I don't know what else to do when I can't get through to you. No, I can't get through to you. No, I can't get through to you, and I can't. I think about it all the time, 'cause I just can't accept it when you tell me it's fine, and I don't know what else to do.
familiar territory here on Train with another 10-5 half in favor of G2. Back on Inferno, Ghost were able to claw the game back to a victory. Over on Dust, it wasn't quite as pretty. But now the third and final map of this series and elimination on the line. It's all to play for. CT side now for Ghost, T side for G2, and an A execute straight off the bat.
Yeah, they want to keep it fast. They want to keep it simple. And push it on up. Wardell flashed out from the connector. Already players closing in. Kusta trying to keep an eye on things from Ivy, but they're already up and by him. Will now strike and pounces on into the action. Neptune in with another, but the bomb plant comes through. That might not matter. They're getting torn apart. Jax has to come up clutch here inside of the bomb site, and he's found a double. Looking for a bit more. Wardell does shut him down, and it shocks a lone armorless P250 in hand. They're on the bomb, and Ghost Gaming will find themselves the pistol round here, picking up a 6, looking to try and make this comeback in the second half a reality.
Yeah, and you can just see that look on Steel's face, like, okay, right, we're still in this. It started. Let's do this. Let's get back into the game. It's still winnable. CT side, you do have to remember as well on Train, anything is possible here for Ghost, but at least they've put the foundations, the building blocks for this beginning. G2 forcing up in the second round. I love this. 3 AKs as well off the back of that bomb plant. This is a ridiculously good buy for G2. Lucky and Kenny may be limited on just Eagles, but if we look over on the side of Ghost, they've only got 2 Orgs and a FAMAS. The others are SMGs, so G2, I wouldn't go as far as saying are favored in this round, but they're pretty equal. Kusta tagged up early, he spots those hero AKs, and he wants nothing to do with that.
G2 desperately looking for some sort of opener here. And Ghost Gaming not giving anything their way. Lucky looking like he wants to try and secure control of Pop Dog, but lurking down in this position is Neptune. So he's not going to get this area of the map easily. Players are out through Ivy as well for the G2 squad. They do spot the man back in CT, and for Wardell, he's got to back up. It's James IRL to grace the scoreboard initially, getting tagged up, and now one of the only players left inside of this A site. He's been bested. Neptune not able to find anything from his pop position, and Lucky's position at the top of Pop Dog, still an unknown quantity. He drops down and finds the man there. Wardell has graced the scoreboard with 2, but he's got to get a lot more here. Time is of the essence, but G2, they've got the bomb in hand. Wardell not in a position to deny the bomb plant, now has to play for the 1v2 retake.
I'm not sure if Wardell thought he had the angle on the bomb. It seemed like he didn't expect it to go down without his idea, and Amadek is going to be able to shut it down. 3 kills from him, those hero AKs coming up clutch for G2, and well-timed play from Lucky as well. He hears Neptune spamming the players coming out of the T-Con and times his drop in through Pop very, very well on that Deagle, had no utility to do so. Ghost, they may have taken the pistol, Harry, but the second round eludes them and a pause as a result. They're forcing up themselves. G2, 5 rounds away from moving forward here at DreamHack Tour. And Ghost trying to do everything in their power to stop them. 1 pause remaining after this. And what was maybe looking like a bit of a Cinderella story, a bit of a chance here for Ghost after they take the pistol. It's got to be a bit crushing to lose straight away to the force by round of G2. A big dose of reality.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of puts you in one of these spots where you're almost tempted to go for a force buy of your own, and indeed they will. But I mean, you know, this could be your demise potentially. If you're not able to pick this up, you're staring down the barrel of a 13-6 scoreline, right?
The alternative is a double eco. That's the issue. It's not like they have any other alternative.
No. That's like losing that second round after winning the pistol is so devastating. Already, Wardell, one of these scout players, gets quelled down towards Ivy. James IRL is able to get a bit of damage off, but damage is one thing, kills are another, and they're going all the way of G2 right now. Kenny plucking Neptune from the ranks of Ghost, and what a scalp to find on his behalf. G2 know they're in complete control of this round now. They sit comfortably with a 2-man advantage. They've got all the firepower, all the time they need. And so they're just going to take this one nice and slow, leaving no stone unturned.
Kusta hears this. He knows Jax is rotating A side. That would typically allow Ghost to start to stack A, but that's what they've already done. 3 players here. There are only 3 players. Arm spotted. James hits the tag. Amanex down to 50, and still will actually get the kill onto Kenny coming through the Ivy at the same time. Still a low HP player, and Kusta's found another kill. Can't drop Lucky, but there's still a Deagle in play that could. Bomb picked up, and James tags again. He's doing so much damage, but as said Harry, the kills are flowing for G2. James is going to need something unreal to keep this game, or this round rather, alive. 30 HP, and G2 are not budging. They are not giving him the pick. Trying to close the distance a little bit. Unscope. Does he expect Jax up above? Oh, flick shot in the head, but there's the trade. As expected, G2 win the round. Lucky with 3.
That was a pretty nut shot, though. I mean, you know, you got to give James the credit where credit is due.
Enough.
But regardless, yeah, G2 in with another. I love that because, you know, even the crowd there gave like a nice reaction because they know G2 have the round. You know, like, that's all that matters. But it's like, yeah, nice shot, nice shot. Regardless, it is just an eco now for Ghost Gaming. This is where we see G2 starting to pull ahead in a pretty big way.
If they hadn't already, they're double that of Ghost.
And that's the thing, I questioned, you know, would this be more of an Inferno game where we see like a one-sided G2 half initially, then Ghost getting back into it? And, you know, I mean, I guess we're still going to have to wait and see for that initial buy to get a real taste of it. Yeah. But the problem is Ghost don't have any wiggle room. You know, if you lose that first buy round, then really, you're going to struggle immensely to have any chance of getting back into this. These pistols do manage to mop up shots. And actually, the bomb is on the back of Kenny, which I thought would have been a problem, but apparently not. He's out on his own over on A, and Kenny S, the one-man army, shutting down those USP players. They try and triple peek him, and that's just 3 kills for Kenny S.
That was a little bit of a panic as well. One of the players one of the T's got through Ivy, and he went up to stop her with a MAC-10. He gets spotted from Heaven, and he sees both the Heaven and the connector player, but he can't get a shot off because he can only see the arm. So he tries to hide, and then Ghost suddenly realizes, and they all rush him, but it doesn't matter. Kenny cleans it up. 13-6. Harry, this is it. This is the round for Ghost. If you lose this round, you lose the game. So, what have they got for us? Not a good start. Wardell gets flashed off on Ivy, not scoped out just yet. And Shox gets to take him down. That's an AWP gifted over for G2, as if you weren't making their job any easier. Shotgun in the pop dog for James. And Jax flashing himself into B as well. Ghost, they can't even commit to a full A stack after losing their AWP on Ivy and a lot of control as a result. They've still got to worry about the potential of G2 having 3 players up in B, for example. Kusta's close. James been dropped. The shotgun only getting damaged, and the AWP does retreat. But the issue is those footsteps are heard, and G2 will act on the back of them. They push in through Ivy and get themselves inside of the A site. Jax, he doesn't need to move. The attention of Ghost is diverted on the wrong players. They don't know they're being flanked. Neptune does get that kill, but G2 are all over this A site and in the CT spawn.
Yeah, there's Shock's element of surprise, decapitating steal. And the problem for Neptune here is his Lucky still unknown. That unknown factor up above Pop Dog could just drop in late and cement this round. Neptune's going to get spotted, and he will tap down too. Lucky now, he has to come in clutch on this flank. Amanek holding over towards the back of Old Bomb. Neither one of them in a great spot to keep an eye on this bomb in the post plant. Lucky arrives, shuts down the first, but Kusta head on a swivel, and a 7th round for Ghost Gaming. They keep the dream alive. You mentioned how important this round was. If you lose this, you're in that awkward spot where you're either force buying to the very end or having to take an eco and, you know, looking at a very horrible score. And luckily enough, that's something that they've dodged for the time being.
Yeah, a huge round from Neptune and the likes, though. The fact that they actually picked that up after losing Wardell just seconds into the round is impressive for Ghost. One of their key players gone, and still Ghost find it. They salvage around and they keep this game going. G2, I like this as well. They've gone for lots of MAC-10s, a half buy, just so they can afford next round if they lose this one. They're going for the fast B with these 3 MAC-10s. Steal with the Molotov. He's going to need to come up clutch because there's players just all around him. Oh, there There's the spray, but Lucky gets the kill. James on the pistol, but shotgun out up close, and he misses the shot. Kenny takes him down. Kusta waits for the aggression, and he does get a reward, but it's a 3-on-3. That bomb now going down on the site, and the rotates in for Ghost.
Yeah, but keep your eye on Shox on that minimap, wrapping around with the Mac-10 connector. He could do so much here. Both these players are relatively low, but it doesn't matter because Kenny's beat him to it. Wardell wondering where this went so wrong. 1v3 and Shox now is that failsafe, the linchpin. He'll delete Wardell, and G2 in with a 14th. The B play works, and on the back of it, it's a harsh reset to the economy of Ghost. You know, they didn't deny that nightmare situation that we described. They merely delayed the inevitable.
And look at this from Kenny as well. Line up on both players coming out of the connector. Shox not even needed on that flank. And Ghost, well, maybe the final straw here. Maybe back to the drawing board because their last tactical pause being used and their last couple of rounds of this tournament, unless they can dig deep and salvage something incredible. G2, on the other hand, they've had enough of losing. They're looking to get revenge against the French Frogs, the ex-3D Max fellas who did take them down on that first day in an overtime best-of-1 over on Nuke. I wonder if we'll get a repeat of that map as well, surely. 14-7 and 4 USPs for Ghost. They're taking the gamble. They're playing for the overtime. It's their best bet. They've only got $2,000 a player, but it's always got to hurt giving away 15 when you're this far down.
Yeah, it is just a matter of picking your poison, and it's a gut-wrenching call to have to make, but they've gone for it. Kusta will get one, but Jax is posted up to trade for Lucky, denying them grabbing this AK. The Molotov actually stops James from even grabbing it. And I mean, in the meantime, G2, they've got this A-bomb site should they choose to try and take it. One man here is Neptune up in heaven. Maybe he does get one, but that should be it. You know, from this position, you've kind of done all you really figured he could have done. And he will be completely surrounded. Finished off by Kenny. G2 going to reach map and series point here. Looking for the big French rematch versus French Frogs. And they might just get it one round away. But there is a full buy now available to the North American squad. They've got one more. Is there any fuel left in the tank here for Ghost Gaming?
Let's find out. Or is it just fumes? AWP's galore here for the Ghost side, and G2, they're going down Ivy. That's where one of them sits. Wardell's already posted up on the angle, died here in the previous attempt, but they're already going past. They're rushing up. He fires off a shot. They use that moment just to get in position. Wardell's ready, though. He does take down Amanex. Shox is too far behind to trade. James keeping an eye on the Pop Dog as well. And 2 players on B for Ghost, but not for long. It seems like they want to rotate off. They actually move very far back towards the depths of the B site. Kenny gets an entry in the meantime, and now James has got to watch 2 positions at once. It's surely impossible. He takes down Kenny, yes, though, and Popper's not proved to be a problem just yet, but Ivy certainly has. Shox takes Wardell. James in the middle of the site trying to keep this round alive, but he's getting tagged. 10 HP the difference, and Jack's coming out through main. The flash is fantastic, but he gets him blind, and Kusta in the middle of the site has it all to do.
Has found the first man. Needs more, needs the support from Steel to swoop in and save the day, and it will, just in the nick of time. Jax alone, a 1v2 required, 45 seconds, and he's going to run for the hills. Maybe looking for the B plant here, knows that both players are inside of A. Ghost are not budging, so Jax will be afforded the B bomb site and a chance in the 1v2. Double AWP as well in this retake. There are weapons that can be picked up for Ghost. They're going to hear these smokes falling into the B side of things. So these rotations coming around now. Jax will be afforded the bomb plant. Doesn't have a Molotov to set up on the rafters. Instead, going to try and take the fight, and Steel will win it. Ghost Gaming keep the dream alive. They lock in an 8th round.
And most importantly, they keep the double AWP as well. Wardell and Kusta both finding success with those weapons and Steel to close out the round. But are they just delaying the inevitable, Harry? That's what's at the back of everyone's mind here, I imagine, even Ghosts. G2 have plenty of money to continue buying up, and they will go for a double AWP into this one as well for the T side, looking to try and deal with that of Ghosts. Shocks going back towards A main. Teammate running right out as well. Already scoped in on Olaf, and here comes the peak. Shocks will get it. Jax found the entry as well to James again in back-to-back rounds, and G2 all over this A side.
Now just Wardell and Steel trying to delay the inevitable. G2 knocking on the door of this A bomb site. This is where both players reside, but Amanek spotting the barrel of Wardell. They know that he's here over by the old bomb, and actually he just propels himself into the crosshair of Amanek. Steel, all that stands between G2 and a victory here, and they're going to get it. They pick up this series in a 2-1 fashion, securing trade. It looked dominant, as did Dust 2. Inferno merely a footnote on this story, as G2 looking like they could be on the road to recovery. For Ghost, their journey comes to an end. Commiserations to them, and well done under the circumstances. You know, playing with only 4 of your 5-man roster, having your coach sub in, good stuff from them. But great showing from G2 there towards the end. The first map, bit dicey, but by the second and third, they hit their stride, and that is the French team we want to see.
Yeah, I mean, Inferno is lost in our memories at this point, Harry. That was so long ago, and now G2, they're looking to bounce back and get that win against the French Frogs, of course, the team that knocked them down to the lower bracket here initially on day number 1. It's certainly a matchup that I'm sure the crowd right here will love, of course, being in Tour of France, but the question is, will G2 be able to recover from their initial loss, or will they fall again to the French Frogs?
Yeah, I think that just becomes a really interesting matchup, right? Because now we get to see, was it just a fluke on day 1, or are the French Frogs, really here to play? Regardless, G2, they are the Ghostbusters, and that film was revamped with a female cast. We have a mostly female cast waiting for us over on the desk.
I think fully female.
Frankie, what did you two make of that?
Well, I was very happy for G2, and actually, you know what? I'm happy for Ghost as well, because they came here 1 man down. James obviously stepped up to the plate, and actually a star was born, because Neptune has been waiting for the past 2 years to really get his moment on the world stage. He became a pro at 14 secretly, and now he's allowed to be one. And he really didn't disappoint, did he, Potter?
No, he didn't. I mean, this was definitely one of those moments where he could play loosey-goosey. The pressure was off of him just because they don't have their full 5. And he definitely showed up specifically on Inferno. I think maybe a little bit fatigued towards the end in that series, especially on Train. I don't think a lot of those players didn't show up on Train. But yeah, definitely on Inferno, Neptune was impressing.
And let's talk about how Neptune is just a brilliant anchor on either of those bomb sites on the CT side, Blair.
Yeah, I mean, like, coming into this lineup, everyone had a few questions. They're like, yeah, this kid is very, very promising indeed, but does he really have the chops to do it against some of the better teams in the world, right? And it was really nice to see him perform here, considering the fact that it was basically a 4v5. James obviously standing in. We've said this time and time again. Ghost had that massive handicap when you're playing as G2. But it was really cool to see him come alive on that particular map. But then, that being said, the second and third map was kind of G2 finally waking up and just closing it out.
It was, and I gotta say, Train was for sure, G2 was controlling the map the entire duration, but I really think Ghost had an actual honest chance on Dust 2. Although the score was 16-6, Ghost lost 3 2v1s, 3v1s, and 2v5s. I mean, they were in a man advantage on multiple occasions, but they just couldn't close out. I think the nerves kind of got to them. Really unfortunate.
I'm sorry, I thought that someone was about to walk across our shot again. So I was like, not today. What do we say to the God of Death? Or Hugo in this instance. Now, we have got Kenny S standing ready and waiting to parlay us. So hello, Kenny, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine. You?
Yeah, we're really good, thanks. How important was that win for G2, considering the match on Nuke against French Frogs yesterday?
Well, that's the kind of game that is super hard to play, because no matter what we do, if we win or lose, we're going to be criticized anyway, which makes sense. But I mean, Ghost has been, despite the fact that they play with a coach that's been playing really well, I've watched them a lot, and tactical-wise, they are one of the team I like the most, to be honest. So yeah, they have, despite the fact that they play with a coach, they have a lot of things to rely on, and they show it today. And beyond the individual skill, they have tactical-wise, they are super good as well.
All right. Firstly, I mean, congratulations on winning the game. But my question is, looking at yesterday's game against French Frogs, and of course the first map today in Inferno, right? Losing those 2 games, was it like what went wrong there? You guys are obviously the favorites. Could it be the pressure? Was it something else that kind of went wrong?
No, I think we've shown a lot of bad things lately. I mean, we've been really inconsistent, and I think it's about the mindset we've shown. We played scared, and it's really hard to explain. But a lot of things happened, and we definitely favorite, and we should not fucked up again, basically. But it's really hard to explain. We have a lot of things. We watched the game again yesterday against French Frogs. We talked a lot about it, and we basically know what the issues are. But we've shown them again today. So yeah, I think the last 2 maps look like more like us.
Now, Kenny, I know you're going up against French Frogs next, so you're maybe not going to want to go through all those mistakes, but can you tell us about some of the things that you're looking to fix before your last series of the day? S'il vous plaît.
S'il vous plaît. What we're gonna fix? I mean, we just need to have more like conviction in what we do. I think as long as we have that, and we finally like work in the same direction with the same objective, we're stronger straight away. So I think that's just having a better mindset.
Alors, bon chance, Kenny. Thank you so much for talking to us, and we'll see you later today. Well, there we go. Kenny, always so honest, and as he said, they needed to find some conviction. They certainly had it on train there, didn't they, Potter?
They did. I liked his mindset, conviction. He's absolutely right. When G2 is kind of getting into the bomb site, I think one of their issues has been in the past is creating space and openings for Kenny S to get those op kills at long range. So definitely conviction. I think that's the perfect word to describe what they should work on.
And Blair, actually G2 as well, with the flexible play style as well, because we thought that Ghost had a really intelligent play and execute. They were preparing for B in tunnels, and then Shox potentially heard them coming.
Yeah, that one round kind of is very telling as to how G2's, their mid-round calls and decision-making is something which really worked out for them, right? And that's one thing which Ghost made a mistake on. So many clutches, they lost 2v5s, 1v3s and whatnot, which they shouldn't have lost because they made small little mistakes. And that's something a team like G2 is going to pounce on. I think we have the round here, which should be being shown up on the screen very quickly. There we go. So this is round number 4. The Ghosts are 3-0 up. If you look at the buy, they have 3 SMGs, right? So they obviously want to kind of take advantage of that. It's kind of like a throwaway round, so to speak. You know, you want to push in and be a little aggressive. You can see Shox over here, just waiting outside the B tunnels. The rest of his team are going towards long. Now you can see the aggression coming out from the CTs towards tunnels. They're pushing in, but they made some sound. They made a little bit of noise. And the moment that it realized there was no one over towards the B tunnels, you can see them all rotating towards the A bomb site. But Shox, he heard the footsteps Kusta made when he was coming towards tunnels, and he called the rotation from his teammates. And you can clearly see, even though Neptune is here and is in a very good position to get the first kill, they know for a fact that it has to be CT who's pushed up, who's waiting for them. And as this round plays out, you're going to be seeing G2 basically just take that B bomb site pretty much for free. And these are the small little micro adjustments that G2 did on their T side, on Dust2, and they also did this in train as well. And this is something which caught Ghost Gaming off guard. These small little mistakes, small little nuances in the way they play their T side especially is what separates a team like G2 from a team like Ghost. But that being said, Ghost did play pretty well as well.
I really like that audible call from Shox as well. And we have to remember, in these instances, man, Ghost had so many advantages. And we had Almanic cleaning up, getting a 4K. Kenny S coming in, cleaning up, getting a 4K. And those clutch rounds really hurt Ghost in the end.
Well, let's talk about those clutch rounds, because Potter, you were saying in the green room that if Ghost hadn't lost those 4 key rounds where they lost those fights, they could have won Dust 2. But Blair, you disagree.
Completely.
And I love that you disagree, so fight, please.
I'm not going to fight. I'm just going to say the facts here. The facts are Ghost could have made it much more closer if they haven't lost those rounds, but the way G2 won the rest of the other rounds were very, very convincing indeed, especially in the second half when Ghost were on the T side. They were struggling to get any rounds. So yes, the scoreline, I believe, could have been much closer, but I think G2 would have still had that particular map.
For sure. For me, it's just a matter of, you know, Kenny S and Shox were so quiet on Inferno, and Ghost did a really good job shutting them down. And even in the beginning of the match on Dust 2, they were quiet as well. Ghost was doing a great job with their utility. And then Kenny S started popping off, and once he starts rolling and the momentum starts going, it's really hard to stop him. But the point is that Ghost had them in a pickle. You could see on their faces, the G2 players, they were a little bit tilted after that first map on Inferno. So that's why I really think that it could have been closer. But
I kind of like there's one round in particular in Train where it was I think a 2v5, and they didn't get the bomb down, and they lost it to Kenny S, and I think it was Jax or Lucky. These are rounds you cannot afford to lose. And if you lose rounds like that, a team like G2, especially when they wake up, they're just going to eat you alive.
Well, coming up after the break, we've got another series where our teams are fighting for survival. But not only that, they're fighting for a place in Championship Sunday. And it is, of course, going to be Mouse versus Wendigo. Don't go anywhere.